This is Professor Michael Chapman. I'm one of the most experienced IVF doctors in Australia. I believe that an important part that I can contribute is to educate patients in relation to fertility, infertility, and all that involves. These series of podcasts help to educate you. I hope they are helpful to you. If you wish to know more, however, I'm more than happy to have you contact me via email, which is profmchapman@gmail.com, or make an appointment to see me on 9138 4222.
Then, as the follicles grow, and we're watching them grow, we reach a point where we believe the eggs are going to be mature. So that's usually about 10 or 11 days after you've started the injections. At that point, we're now ready to collect the eggs. The important stage, the next stage, is what is called the trigger injection. So what do you mean by trigger? Is we trigger processes within the follicle that take the egg to being from immature to being mature. And that process takes somewhere in the order of 36 to 40 hours. So we time our egg collection after the trigger injection at 36 hours to be on the safe side that the eggs won't be released prematurely. So we come to the egg collection. That means coming into a hospital or a day surgery area to have the eggs collected. What's involved? So there are options in terms of anesthesia or analgesia. The simplest is to use nitrous oxide and some oral pain relief with local anesthetic. That gives the advantage that you can immediately hop up and go home immediately after the procedure. Alternatively, you could have a general anesthetic. It's a very light general anesthetic, and that means you have to stay around the hospital for a couple of hours to recover from that anesthetic. Once you're ready for the egg collection, what happens is we use the ultrasound probe in the vagina to look for the ovaries, look for the follicles, and then using a needle guide, a long needle. You don't want to see that, it's quite long, albeit it's only going a centimetre or two inside your tummy through the vaginal wall into the ovary to suck out. It's connected to a suction pump and it sucks out the fluid in the follicle, and an egg comes out of each follicle, I said in 80% of times. So if you've got 10 follicles, I'd expect to find good-sized follicles. I'd expect to find 8 eggs. Sometimes we get a surprise and get 10 out of 10, or even 12 where we didn't expect to. And occasionally, it maybe only half of the follicles have eggs, and very rarely. There are times when, sadly, we don't get any eggs, which is probably a reflection of an ovary that's got a problem. Those eggs, once they have been sucked out of the follicles, are handed it directly to an embryologist who's in the theatre with you. And what they're doing is looking under a microscope in the theatre to find the egg in that follicle. So they collect all the eggs together at that point and take them into their laboratory. And at that point, or around about that time, the sperm is prepared. So in most cases, the partner produces a sample. It's then processed for about an hour, and then the sperm is put with the eggs. That's basic IVF. We just mix the sperm and the egg and let nature organise itself in terms of fertilization.
And don't forget that you can access all the previous episodes by going to our website www.theivfjourney.com and select IVF Journey podcast from the navigation menu.